And then I don't know if you know SKF. It's the bullets company fabric. I can say Swedish. It's Sveriges kullagerfabrik, and it's they do with bullets, and it's one of the strongest and best bullets in the whole world. And one sad thing about this is that during the World War II, they actually helped and sold these bullets to German people. So that's kind of sad, but now they are one of the biggest bullets company in the whole world. Okay, does someone recognize this? Yeah, they're singers, and if you see here, the names ABBA comes from the names. So if you say Agneta, Björn, Benny, and Annie, this is actually what this idea from. They come from their names. Yeah.
Cool.
And then we have, like I said, Dalahäst, where they come from. You remember when I told you guys about to remember the region?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this picture is from Dalarna. And why it's like so famous, I don't know why it's so much famous in Sweden, but it started to, like, back in time, they didn't have any like toys, and they actually built like small dollar horses, like you can see here. And they actually played with them. Children that was playing with them, and then it just become so famous in whole Sweden. So it's one thing you can, yeah. And this is like dollar horse. Let's see how you spell it in Sweden. Dalahäst. Yes. And then we have Swedish money. What we use in Sweden is kronor. Actually, in Europe they have euro, but Sweden doesn't want to have any euro money. We just want to have our own money, which I think it's better than to have the same money in the whole Europe. And I actually have the Swedish money here. If you can pass this around, you can show them. Yeah. So yeah, and it's not just like Sweden who has their own money. Some country, like Norway. So yeah. Yeah, this is the Earth. It's flat. I just kidding. Yeah, the climate in Sweden is kind of like what we have in Alaska. So if you see Alaska here, it goes from here, it's like Sweden, so it goes like, yeah. So we have the same climate as Alaska, and it's not. I think it's kind of, it's like the climate is mild in Sweden. I mean, the summer is also mild. It's like, yeah, it's cold in winter. And okay, now I'm going to talk about Swedish seasons and celebrations and holidays. Let's see. So I want everybody to repeat after me, and I want you to say spring at Swedish. So vår.
Vår.
Well, okay, good job. Yeah, so it's how we spell spring. Yes. Okay, in Sweden we have a holiday, a Saturday, which is Good Friday. We actually call it, if I translate from Sweden to English, it's Long Friday. So it kind of makes more sense for me, because it's like Long Friday was a long day for Jesus when he was dying for our sins, and Good Friday, I don't really understand what's Good Friday. So yeah, so we celebrate this day. It's like you kind of Saturday, it's like quiet. Yeah. And then we have Easter. We actually celebrate first day of Easter. You can see the 1st of April. And when we go, this is what we celebrate. It's like we're making jokes and of people and stuff. But this day is actually a sad day back in 16th century. There were actually people back in time, in the 16th century, like I said. They were like old grumpy ladies, and they were like going out. They were just disappearing from like the whole the month April. They were just disappearing, and like they were actually going out and beg for food and money. But in town there was like people were like I'm sorry, they were like wondering where they were going. They were just disappearing, and then they were thinking that they were from hell, that they were visiting hell, and they actually that year it was like during 16th century to 17th century, which hundreds of people died because they told them they was witches from hell, and they burned them to death, and it was really sad back in time. But now we have it like a holiday, like it's like just happy day, and we actually go out, not we, but children, small children, they go out and knock on the doors, give them a card, which is like Glad Påsk, it's like Happy East, what they say, and they get some money. It's like a Halloween, exactly, it's like a Halloween, but in East. So they do this, and actually, what I was telling you was like, they come back at May, 1st of May, they were coming back, but the people in the town didn't want them. So they actually started spring bonfires, or is it 1st May? But it was actually, like, they didn't want them back, so they were like, do this bonfires so they wouldn't come back, like scare them, so they would not come back. And if they would come back, they would burn them to death. So we celebrate. This is a happy day in Sweden now. So yeah. We have Children's Day. Yeah. So like Children's Day, ka-ching. Yeah. So, yeah. In my family, we celebrate this day. They give us money or we just do something fun that day. So this is. The parents doesn't have to have just their days. We just also want to have more days in Sweden. So we celebrate Children's Day at May. And then we have Carl Larsson, who was born at May. He's one of the Swedish most famous artists. And if you can see here, this is a smörgåsbord, which is like a sandwich table. And he was actually born like very poor, but he just had one talent, and it was to draw and painting. So he became one of Swedish most famous artists, and he's still very famous in Sweden. And now we are going to summer. So I want everybody to repeat after me again. Like say sommar.
Sommar.
Awesome. And it's like how you spell it. It's like almost the same. Yes. And at summer, at like 10th of June, we actually take graduation. We have graduation, and this is how graduation hat looks like. And what we're doing that day, it's like we give them necklace, who's like have the color of Sweden, the color of Sweden, and they actually, if you can see here, and the necklaces can be like flowers. It can be like everything you can think of. It's like teddy bears. Yeah, so it's like it's really nice that day. Really cool. And Midsommar, we celebrate Midsommar, and it has to be like, it's how do you say it? Sorry. It's the day is the longest. I mean, the daylight is the longest of the year, and we celebrate this to dance around the pole. And this is kind of silly, but we have like the most famous dance is what we call it små, which means like small frogs. We actually we take our feet like this and our hands like this, and we jump and sing around. It's one of the famous songs in Sweden. And actually, I don't know if you can see this woman. She has her folk dance direct. Yeah, close.
Can you sing it for us?
No, sorry. And they actually dance. We have our folk dance that day too. It's very common in Sweden, and also this crown of flowers and leaves we have around our head. And yeah, it's a really nice day. And the pools can looks like different wherever you go. So yes.